if he had earlier Spire, maybe, a greater Spire that being, that he'd have actually had the Brood Lords out earlier, and then they just popped out, and two of them popped out under the Marines and got gutted immediately. So, I don't know. It's all to play for in this last game because this is match point here for Polt, and Stephano is fighting from a fairly weak position, being 2 games down. So, ladies and gentlemen, for potentially the final time tonight, I bring you TSL's Polt. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Terran to the east of the Core Hull compound versus his opponent, Millennium Stephano, in the red trunks, playing Zerg to the west.
And we're just about to go past the 13-hour mark of casting today, TotalBiscuit.
Standard.
He's like, normal. I'm like, no. Is that it? No?
Pretty much. Standard. I'm not going to give you sympathy. Good God. I'm in the same position as you are.
I know. I was looking for sympathy from you guys.
Oh, from the audience,
no,
yeah.
No. Oh, I was looking for that applause.
You are such an attention whore.
The thing is, like, I didn't get it, and I had to ask for it, which kind of made me look even
that
worse.
makes you look pretty pathetic, honestly. I'll just play the world's smallest violin for you.
Stephano did it too, though, earlier. He was like,
that's no excuse.
Continue. He was lapping that in there.
God, it was like you're his little brother, and he's like, but he did it first. No, that doesn't work.
All right, so once again, we do have Polt opening up with the same build as he has done every single game, and that's been the story of Polt's tournament, is that he doesn't really change it up that much. There's a little bit of variety with maybe an early expansion or not, but usually revolves around the same strategy, and it all comes down to positional play, unit control, and that's how he's been able to beat Stephano. And Stephano previously in that game did change his style to Mutalist, which was effective. And I think the reason for that change was that we saw Polt just adapting too well to Stephano's style of, very heavy ling. He was using higher and lower grounds, tanks on the low ground, Marines on the higher ground, picking up Marines consistently when he was losing the fight, and all these small little techniques just made every single fight for Stephano so low in cost efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency is how I would describe Polt. Since we saw his very first game here, and we made this comment against Zerg, look at how efficient his engagements are. Look at where he fights. Look at where he chooses to take a fight. Always about how many Marines can I save, or even if I'm going to lose my Marines, I am going to make you hurt for that. Oh, and Polt gets out of there. Very, very, very close to dying, but he can start building again, and he just wants to bait out as much wasted mining time as possible. There's the cancellation. He's happy with that. He goes back to base, having wasted Stephano's time.
Indeed. Is Stephano going to try anything funky this game? I do believe on this map that he can go back to his same style as previously, going for double evolution chambers, going for a lot of lings, and I think that's what we're going to see here from Stephano. We could see Mulus again, but on this map they're not as strong because there's no actually areas to hide inside the main base of Polt, because the back of his base is actually screen tight, as I like to call it, as you can't kind of move to the right or the north of it actually. And we do see the command center going down here. We do have the Hellions coming out once again. Stephano out of gas and does just grab the speed immediately as well as that spine call, so I really don't believe that he will be doing any form of aggression.
No, I don't think so. They're going to play standard straight up and may go for that earlier style, just revert back to it. It is concerning, though. This is a fairly tank-friendly map, as we've said many times before. The ability to siege up on the third base of your Zerg opponent is very dangerous. Combine that with Polt's good sense when it comes to the positions of his tanks and the arrangement of his formation. That could prove to be absolutely lethal.
And we do have Stim on its way. And sometimes I do prefer that the switch up with a factory for earlier tanks, but Stim is also fine. Again, the tanks earlier just a lot safer, but looking at Stephano, now going for a third queen, really early, still not in gas at all. And I wonder if he's just trying to snipe the Hellions and pick all of them off and then look for a faster third base. Or if he does want to try and go into double evolution chamber, then he's going to need to go into a second gas immediately. Otherwise, he won't have the gas necessary. And there are the lings in production now. He will be trying to get us around on these Hellions who have prevented, no creep spread whatsoever.
Yeah, it hasn't happened as of yet, but there is a. Do we have? Yeah, we've got 3 queens, so it is kind of annoying. He's going to pick up now with the Spine Crawler, bring 2 Queens out, and then will most likely try and flank with the Lings, assuming that the Hellions try and get a little bit closer. You know what's really bad against Spine Crawlers, Hellions? He does bring in 6, however, gets a couple of Lings here and there, and Stephano can actually spread just a little bit of creep here.
And Stephano taking 3 gases and a 4th now, so it looks like he's actually just going to go layer again. 1 evolution chamber, and there comes the second one. So it will be going for 2 base, try to take a 3rd soon if he can get a decent surround on the Hellions, but I'm saying that as if he needs to get a surround on the Hellions. Otherwise, Polt's just going to sit there and deny Lings. It's going to deny the drone from going down to the 3rd base, and overall deny the economy of Stephano rising up. And in the background, Polt is going for his double reactor, a lot of Marines, medivacs straight away, and will actually move down shortly to start to pressure this immediate tech from Stephano.
Indeed. The single Ling slips past and gets quite a little bit of information, just able to scout around here. The Hellions just sitting on the edge of the creep in tantalizing, well, that's a really hard word, tantalizing distance. Shouldn't have tried to repeat it. Unfortunately, Stephano can't quite get in there just yet. He's going to push forward 2 Spine Crawlers once again to force Polt to either go or to leave. It's as simple as that. He has to go into the mineral line, potentially lose all his Hellions, or just back the hell off.
And he does back off, and the creep sped will be able to extend a little better than it is. 11 more drones in production, which throws Stephano kind of over 2 base saturation here. And he needs to start thinking about that 3rd base, but at the same time, here comes that double medivac push. Combat shields near completion as well. And there's no tech yet, as the layer's obviously about to finish, and now it does finish. I suppose we will see the infestation pit thrown down immediately, but this Marine push, even though it's small, could do a lot of damage. Banelings here, without speed, can easily control his Marines against them here.
Yeah, with the Hellion support, that'll work very well. Polt was waiting for the flank to come in, and that is very nice there by Polt. Detonates 1 Baneling, there's only 3 available there. Kills the Spine Crawler, kills an awful lot of Zerglings as well. A mass Baneling Morphin coming in once again. See, Polt's pressure is fantastic. Another Queen taken out. Spine Crawler transfused there, but it's going to die anyway. All that did was delay the inevitable. Polt's pressure is brilliant, and regardless of that, Stephano still actually has managed to get out 60 drones.
And he's about to lose everything here if he doesn't pick up the remaining Marines.
Whoa!
Does he manage to get them? And
that was uncharacteristically sloppy there from Polt, actually. He did lose a lot of Hellions and Marines unnecessarily. It kind of muted applause. Feel like, should that have happened?
And 3rd base taken on the left-hand side this time for Stephano, pushing his creep. Because of the Hellions denying creep outside the natural, he's extending creep from the main and just going to push up that side. But unfortunately, Polt is going to walk into this and sees it, and Stephano down at 2 bases, and we're actually experiencing a very familiar example to exactly how we saw Polt play against Lucky and preventing Lucky from taking 3rd bases.
Hello, he wants to keep that alive, but the cancel goes in anyway, and just realize, you know what, I'm fighting against Polt is in those infuriating positions all the time, every time I get anywhere near him. And Stephano's not making the same mistakes as previously and sacrificing an awful lot of Lings and just throwing that economic advantage away.
And the momentum is really showing for Polt now, being 3-1 within this series, 1 game away. He's got so much room for error, yet he's still not making any. And we see the 3rd command center about to finish now. The Marines are starting to get upgraded just by a single engineering bay. It doesn't have that strong of an economy compared to the previous one where it had this such early 3rd command center. But still, this push coming, it's very, very Marine heavy and tank little. If Stephano has 5 infestors, he can easily change the game around if he lands the fungal growths correctly onto the clumped up Marines. And Polt hasn't seen anything, but he will know that infestors are coming, just doesn't know where from.
Exactly. We saw Lucky take this base over here, actually. This seems to be a thing for Zerg, but it does get denied, and that's kind of why I suppose Polt just went there immediately, because he's already experienced that on this map before. Now, the strength of Polt, one of many, is splitting against Banelings. Admittedly, he's going up against Speed Banes, and he's going up against Infestors as well. That makes that very, very difficult. Stephano is going to crushing victory here.
I was a little bit worried there as he wasn't siege, but he does siege up now. Stephano is about to hit 2-2 TotalBiscuit, and as he hits that, he's going to crush everything.
He's gone in a little bit early. I'm not actually sure why he's doing that. 2-2 hasn't kicked in yet. He's doing a lot of damage regardless. Maybe he could have done a lot more if he just hadn't jumped the gun there, but the Baneling detonation is great, and that's the cleanup.
Yeah, that's what Stephano needed here, and those infestors are proving crucial here, and Polt's army supply dropped really low in that third place. Planetary Fortress, if Stephano launches down there, he's making Banelings in. I have a feeling that we're going to see a bust here from Stephano.
He's got to hit that right now before the Planetary Fortress gets up, though. Otherwise, that's going to get messy.
And he does go down, and before it does turn to a Planetary Fortress, and Polt has to run everything down. He cannot afford to lose his third base like he's been denying Stephano from all game.
Yeah, I don't think, engaging here it's very inefficient. That is going to finish, and Polt would have delayed the attack on it even. So is he just going to bust it entirely?
Yeah, he's going to blow it, man. He's going to blow it up. He's going to blow the bloody doors off.
Yes, indeed he is. Well, let's see what else he manages to blow up. Here he goes. Let's see. Planetary Fortress target fire. That's not going to happen. Oh, there's the detonation. The Planetary Fortress goes down, and the fungal catches the SCVs as well. What the hell's efficiency? Who cares when you can do that kind of damage? If we look at resources lost, though, it does tell a fairly ugly tale. Now,
and it does open up a really big counterattack option. There's a lot of gas spent in destroying that in terms of Banelings.
Definitely.
So, and even if there weren't Banelings to be morphed, and even if he does morph the Banelings, I'm sorry, trying to say, if he does morph the Banelings, that's gas taken away from higher tech, such as upgrades. So, an investment, but will it pay off here?
Well, more Banelings are available, but Polt is setting up a trifecta of tanks over there, and that's going to be quite dangerous. Doesn't want to get anywhere near that. He's also trying to protect this base down to the bottom. Wants to take that fourth. Polt is now mining from 2 bases. His main is almost mined out as well. His SCV count isn't really oversaturated. That's mostly because Stephano ate all of it, but he's now going for the Ultralisk Cannon and Adrenal Glands, going right back into his classic style.
And we do have another move by Stephano towards that third base. He's going to see that there's no command center there again, and this is pushing Polt into not expanding. He has to do damage. He doesn't know about the Ultralisk Cavern finishing, but if he can do enough damage, there's 900 gas been banked up here. There's no way he can take a third base. It feels like Polt, in combination with all these upgrades finishing, is trying to end Stephano now. The tank line is very deep here, and Ultralisk are coming out now. Doesn't even have enough minerals to build more than 3, even though he has the gas.
And that's a little bit stressful. That fourth base would have been a godsend right there, but this is a real problem. It's positional tank play all over again from Polt, and it's the third base, the worst possible base to take an engagement on if you happen to be Zerg because of that high ground. Look at where he's positioning that. That's going to be extremely difficult to take down, but here comes the defense. He must decisively defend this base.
And if he doesn't defend this base, he still could crush the army of Polt and win that way. But if Polt doesn't let that happen, then Polt's going to clean up the entire of the tournament and take first place. So this is a very stressful position for... Oh my god, I just had Battle.net connection lost on my screen.
Oh, that is a...
Waiting for server.
That's all next.
And as I was about to say, this is a very tense moment for Stephano.
It's even more tense now. Good God, he's happy about that.
Waiting for server. It looks like Battle.net's kicked me off, man. And guess what everybody's saying on the forums right now?
The technology just isn't there yet.
Same thing Stephano had just an hour ago.
Sadly. Oh well, in about 20 seconds time, you're going to be observing from this screen.
The PC is brilliant though. The PC's actually running very smoothly. It's an ASUS PC.
I like that, yeah.
It's not a PC
It's absolutely
problem.
fantastic, not breaking at all. To be fair, it is, it's not crashed, it's just, it's a Battle.net disconnection.
It's not crashed, and if you don't believe me, I'll show you.
Yeah.
The PC is fine.
Yeah. You are the weakest link.
I
Goodbye.
wonder if ASUS is going to give me a PC of my own now.
You are a consumer whore. Anyway.